And that's why I came with that idea.
I'm ballin' on you. The labels.
Oh, this has really been doing me justice. Like, I can't even. Like, this is doing me so much justice. Like, I smoke a lot of weed, guys. I smoke a lot of weed. And when I don't have weed, I used to get bored a lot. I used to be like, damn, I want to get high. How can I substitute this feeling I am for getting high and convert it into something else without having to waste a lot of money? Because I sit 50, 60, $70 every, week or two just on weed, nigga. And you know how expensive weed prices are, my nigga. Like, so that's when I was like, vape. Like, it don't got the same, feeling as you do when you get high, but it's a substitution for me. But if you want to taper down a little bit, then you need to substitute the weed with something else. So that's where I came up with this little idea. I was like, oh yeah, game time. And that's where I came with that idea. That's exactly how I came up with the idea, bro. I was like, okay, first, I need to figure out how I'm gonna deal with it, because you get tired of spending all this money, and in this day and age, how expensive weed is, bro. So knowing that, you have to figure out how to prioritize your money and prioritize the thing that you want to do and trying to pursue. So if you're trying to save it for a car or a house or whatever, you can't be spending all this money on weed constantly, because it's gonna deter you from your path. You have to think of different ways to figure out how to improve yourself, your way of living, and how to cope with different ways of, different situations. Because if you don't, you're gonna be spending hella money for no reason. You're gonna be fiending hard for no reason. You're not gonna be making any progress because you didn't make that decision yourself. Come on, guys, you gotta catch up. Come on, guys, catch up. You have to figure out ways to enhance and further your life other than doing things that can damage it. And that's why I came up with this idea. Vaping. I just really started getting into vaping. I was hitting those little pops. Them little pops, bro, them shits was good. If you know what a pop is, bro, it's about like this long. It's kind of like a rectangle, and you good. It's good for about 400 hits. It's a disposable, so you get it from the gas station, you get it from the vape shop. You ask them, it's probably about $10. It's a little disposable vape. They got all these flavors. You hit it, and you get about 400 hits. That's probably gonna last you about like a day or two. So depending on how much you smoke it, depending on how long it's gonna last. Versus if you get like a vape, you can just refill it. Cause mine is refillable. You can refill these constantly over and over. All you gotta do is get a new coil every now and then, refill it, clean it out whenever you want to. Boom, you're good. Versus you going over here, I want to smoke. Let me spend a 3.5. That's 45. 15 a G. You know how that go, bro. You know how that goes. You have to see. What I wanted to do was being able to still buy weed, but have hella money left over. So that's why I come with this. This will save you. This will help you save money more. This will help you, cope a little better with not being able to smoke weed as often as you'd like to, but still being able to save money and being able to buy weed when, your pockets say, okay, you can buy weed now. That's how you do that, guys. You got to think about ways to basically, you got to think of ways of how to improve your lifestyle. You can't be doing the things that you want to do, just smoking weed all the time and just wasting your money, unless you got money to spare like that. If you got about 2-3 jobs and you working really hard, then yeah, every week you could buy probably a zip. You could probably buy a little QP. You can probably do all that, but you can't do it if you only got one job, if you got hella bills to pay, and then you're saving that last $40 that you get from your paycheck to spend on weed. You can't do that, because you're gonna be broke. You're gonna be miserable. And you're gonna be wondering, why can't I save money? It's because of your addiction. It's your mindset. It's your mindset telling you need this. You need to keep smoking this. You need to keep doing this. A lot of people who smoke weed say they're not addicted. Stop the cap. Yes, you are. Because if you weren't addicted, you would just put that shit down right now, instead of having to hurry up, call your plug, and be like, I'm ready to cop now, and not have any money left over. That's how you got to do it, guys. If you don't, you're gonna be struggling in life because you're spending all your money on the wrong shit instead of investing it, saving it, or spending it on the right shit. You have to know the difference between wrong and right, literally. And when you come up with that, then you'll be able to make that decision yourself. But for me, I have to figure out ways to cope with it differently. And that's when I came with this. It doesn't have to be a vape. It could be a dab pen or whatever. Dab pens are a little bit more cheaper, and you could put a little bit more, you know, juice in it, depending on if you want some THC in it, depending on what cart you're getting it from. Because, you know, a lot of y'all be getting the fake carts. If you're trying to get high, you do that instead of actually going to a real dispensary or having it shipped from LA to come to your house. You have to figure out different ways to do what you want to do and still be able to have money left over to do what you want to do. That's literally it. That's all you have to do. You figure that out, you'll be straight. Because I've been smoking for a minute, guys. I've been smoking for 5 years, for 15 to now to 20. So it's kind of like, I had to figure this shit out in the span of 5 years to figure out, I'm losing all this money. I can't even imagine how much money I've spent on weed. That's how crazy it is. I said, I don't know. I can't tell you. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't tell you because I don't know. I don't. But I have an estimate. Probably around like $20,000 at least. At least. And you got these other famous rappers spending that amount of money on weed per month. $20,000 off weed per month. The rappers doing that shit regardless. But I'm not a rapper. I'm a regular human being. I ain't on that level of success and money and fortune to be doing shit like that. Once you figure that out, you make that decision. Rewire your brain. Figure out what you need to do, how you need to do it, and how you're going to get there. Because if you don't, you're going to be in that same situation you still are in because you do not know the difference between wrong or right. But I'm here to tell you the difference between wrong or right. And what I'm doing is right. What you're doing is wrong because you're still broke. End of discussion. Figure out what you want to do. Figure out how you're going to do it. Make the changes and change it. Because if you don't, you're going to be in the same position, buddy. You don't want to be in the same position. You want to be in a better position that you already in. You want to elevate. We are young men. Or if you are a young woman, you have to elevate yourself. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Make that change. Because if you don't make that change, you're going to have to make the change when you don't want to make the change. You don't want to make the change when you're 30. You don't want to make the change when you're 40. You want to make the change right now. Because if you don't, you're going to look back on it and be like, damn, all the money I could have had saved. All this, all that. But you couldn't make it happen because you couldn't get over your addiction. Weed is an addiction. Especially if you're rolling it up in some tobacco. If you're rolling a backwood got nicotine in it, tobacco, whatever. Even if you're rolling papers, bro, you're gonna keep wanting to go back and roll a paper. You're not gonna get as addicted, but if you've been smoking weed for a long period of time, you're gonna feel like, oh, I need to go back to this to feel this type of way. When really you have to figure out ways to feel how you really want to feel without having that type of stimulus in your body to really focus and go and grind to your purpose. You have to. You have to, bro. You have to make that decision. No one's going to make that decision for you but yourself. Remember that. No one's going to help you make that decision. Make it for yourself. Figure out how you can improve upon it and keep going forward, guys. That's all I got to say, really, for this video. Hope this video helped. I hope you learned something I really do hope you learned something. I hope you can actually use this knowledge to help increase your life, figure out what you want to do, and kind of taper back off the weed a little bit and figure out, okay, what do I want to do? How do I want to do it, and how am I going to get there? That's it. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back at you guys with another video. I'm never stopping. I'm going to keep coming with these type of videos and try and, escalate my YouTube channel a little bit more. So, hey, drop a comment down below, leave a like, and I'll be back at you guys with another video. Thanks.